Okay, so now that it's the start of a new year, I wanted to try to document me going through a no buy or low buy year. So essentially what that means is that I am not going to be spending money on anything that's outside of my means or outside of my fixed budget. So if it's not going towards my mortgage or any of my household items, I do not spend money on it. So that's what I'm hoping to do. I kind of want to start to have these data points so I can track it to see where I'm starting, and then by each month, if I'm hitting my goals by the end of the year, if I can ultimately achieve a no buy, low buy year. So I have a couple habits that I wanted to start off with that I believe that will help me successfully achieve a no buy year. The first habit is to start off on a positive note, because we want to embrace the things that we do already positively, is write down 5 habits that you already do positively. So for me, I took the time to write this down. You can go ahead and take the time to write this down for yourself if you are looking to achieve a similar kind of outcome for the year. So the first positive habit that I have, I'm trying not to say thing. The first positive habit that I currently do is I do not buy fast fashion anymore or fast food. 2 things that I feel like a lot of people don't even realize where their money is going towards is cheap materials, cheap clothing, just cheap plastic, easily disposable items. Not cool for yourself or for the planet. And fast food. So many people have a problem with fast food. I know so many people have a problem with this fast food convenience culture, you know, the DoorDash, the Instacart. When you're not prepared, it's so easy to go ahead and just order in, take out, order out, whatever. And that is something I am so happy that I have overcome. So I'm adding that here to a positive for the beginning of this year. No fast food and no fast fashion. The second habit that I already do that is positive and that has been helping me is repairing the items that I already own and that exist in my home. So if you don't know, I do cloth diaper both my kids. My oldest son is now wearing underwear. That's besides the point. But after having these same diapers for 3 years, a lot of wear and tear has worn them out. So the elastic has stretched out and it doesn't work properly. So I just took moments out. I take moments out of my day to go ahead and repair it. I sew it by hand. I get new elastic, I sew it, I cut it, all that stuff, instead of just trying to throw it away, which will be besides the point, wasting more than disposable diapers. So I just repaired them, and now they work just as good as new. I don't have to spend any more money, and that was the whole point originally. Now, the third habit that I already do positively is purchase 95% of almost everything secondhand. That is clothes, shoes, baskets, sports gear for my kids, trying to think, glassware, Tupperware, whatever you could think of. I try to buy it 95% of the time secondhand. There's so many things out there that is being mass produced and it already exists on the planet, so might as well reuse what's already here, and most of the time the stuff is still good. So I utilize that and I save so much money in the process, and it's helped me a lot. Now, the fourth habit is something that is not new to you guys, hopefully. I am super into zero waste and being as minimal as possible. So the positive habit is that I'm constantly auditing my lifestyle to fit a zero waste lifestyle. And of course, the society that we live in doesn't call for a zero waste lifestyle, but I am constantly tracking my waste, where it's going. I think a lot of my waste has been coming from food, not in the sense that I'm cooking food and disposing of it or discarding of it because I didn't use it, but food in the sense where like I still eat meat, so the packaging around the meat, and obviously we know that meat is a large, polluter for farming cows, chickens, all that stuff. So the packaging and then the process of the meat itself. So the food waste is the biggest sector for me, but I am intentional. And the fifth and last habit is utilizing my business for setting me up for success personally. So I own a small business that I do at the farmers markets where I make my own products, soaps, shampoo bars, cleaning products, all-purpose cleaners, dish soap, all that stuff. But I also utilize other brands that have perfected certain formulas, such as like laundry detergent, a lot of things for the household that will benefit me personally. I try to focus that as a purchase for my business, but I am benefiting it personally, if that makes sense. I am a consumer of my own business. So once I purchase these things from my business, me personally as a consumer can go ahead and purchase from myself as a business owner. I hope that makes sense, but that saves me so much money because I can get it wholesale. Now that we ended that starting off on a positive note, we want to get into the nitty-gritty of what we're here doing, and that's trying to audit our finances. And in order to do that, you want to go through all of your bank statements, and you want to filter out the things that are serving you and the things that are not serving you. What are you unnecessarily spending your money on? Because you can consistently tell, obviously tell what is not serving you and why you keep spending your money and why you don't have money for your emergency fund or anything of that sort. So I know you might feel ashamed or you might feel afraid or insecure about it, but go through it and really acknowledge and be aware of where your spending habits are going. It is very important. It's a very vital process. The next thing I wanted to do is write down a lot of the things that bring me joy. Similar to the 5 habits that we do already positively, we want to write down the things that bring us joy. So you can make as long or as little of a list as you want. I'll go ahead and list mine. You can do yours. So mine is spending time with family, spending time in nature, waking up before my kids, working out before work, reading aloud to my kids, a family weekly book club, getting time to meditate and do yoga, having new experiences and new date night, eating, cooking, with high quality foods. That's a big one for me. Sticking to my values, keeping alignment. I like long form conversations with my family members. I love long form conversations. Also, big one. Another thing that brings me joy is not shopping at large conglomerates like Amazon, Target, Walmart. All of those places are large polluters in this world, and that is something that is in fulfillment and aligned with my values, is not putting money into those people's pockets. So that's something that brings me joy. I like, on the flip side, I like supporting small local businesses, constantly minimizing my waste, trying to be as low waste, zero waste as possible. I love clean and non-toxic products. It helps obviously my skin and the planet. I like making my own products. I like selling it at the farmer's market. I like being a minimalist. I like having minimalist routines. I like my home being my sanctuary and my home to resemble a model home. Okay, now that we have listed our 5 positive habits that we already do, we went through our whole bank statement and audited our finances. We wrote down all the things that bring us joy. The last thing we want to do is close the gap. So if you say, for me, if I say that I want to cook with high quality foods, it doesn't make sense that my bank statement will say that I'm spending money on Wendy's and McDonald's. that is not in alignment, you're further away from your goals. So you want to close that gap. Stop spending your money on the fast food. Stop spending your money on the irrelevant, unnecessary things, and go ahead and start putting your money towards the things that do bring you joy. All those new experiences, the high quality foods, that is where your money should be going towards. Even if it seems irrelevant to other people, as long as it brings you joy, that's the whole point in sticking to this process. So writing down the positive habits and the things that bring you joy could be like a journal entry just on a notebook. You could just write that down, kind of put it somewhere in your home that you could look at. But I suggest making a spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet of your fixed and your variable expenses. You want to write these down because this is something that you will be spending your money on every month, every quarter, and every year. And you want to see your progress, and keeping it in a spreadsheet, I think, is the best way to keep it organized. So I can go through like a couple data points that you would want to keep in your spreadsheet so you have a good gauge of where your money is going. So I'll start off with a list of what I am putting in my own Excel spreadsheet, and then putting the numbers to it with me and my partner as we go through it together. So on my spreadsheet, I make 2 columns, one for my fixed expenses and one for my variable expenses. So very quickly, for my fixed expenses, I have my mortgage, my utilities, internet, phone, insurance, car, childcare, groceries, spending, and travel. And then for my variable expenses that obviously vary are my household supplies, student loans, eating out, kids' activities, entertainment, my emergency fund, any house repairs, future planning like wedding, rings, engagement, hopefully, car repairs, credit cards, and any subscriptions. So I like to put those in 2 separate columns. Me and my partner will go ahead and put the number in those columns. We see what our budget is, what our income is, and that is how we will continue to audit our financial goals for the rest of this year. So hopefully it works for you too.